Alright, there we go. Okay, recording started. We're going to get going. Okay, couple things. We only have one more live class left, if you can believe that. That's just crazy. Let me share my screen real quick with you. Okay. Alright, so as I share my screen with you here, if you look at the bottom there, today's the 27th, okay? I'll bring it up to the top here. So today's the 27th. You have lesson 12 quiz that's due, okay? And so that recording is up there on the thing. People said they had some issues with quiz 11. I'm working on that. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes I set up the class and it doesn't always work out fantastically like I'd like it to. But also today is your geography papers due, okay? So if you look on the announcement on the class, it'll have, and I posted last time about just the geography paper. It's anything about geography, okay? So some people said it was that. So somebody said it won't let me take it. It has 0 questions. It's weird. Oh. Okay, yeah, let me go into it. I think I know what it is, if that's what it is for question 11. Okay, let me fix that. It should be up to go after this class, okay? Thank you for letting me know. So also, some people have had issues turning in the geography paper. If all else fails, just email it to me. I'll get it on there, okay? So that gives me some time to grade it. What we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about lesson 13, which we're going to go into Europe. And start talking a little bit about Europe, which is our last unit that we're talking about. Which is crazy. I can't believe how fast this has gone. Then we'll have you'll have a flipped class on Friday. Also the Capitol outings on Friday too. So if you guys want to come out down to the state capitol, I'll be down there. We're going to take a tour. There's going to be lunch provided. Should be a good time. On the 14th, you have lesson 14 quiz that's due from that flipped Friday class. And then we have live class, and that's our last live class. Okay. Quiz 15, and then I gave you guys a whole week and a little bit, almost week and a half, well probably a little over a week and a half, to complete the rest of it. And then we have spring break after that, which we're all looking forward to, right? At least I am. So then we'll have a whole nice break there where we don't have to go about school, and then we're going to start block 4 on April 1st. Man, that's the last block. I think it's going to be pretty good. Good times. Okay. Any questions about what we got to do? Where you got to go? Quiz 11. You have. Oh no, somebody just popped in. All right, cool. All right, let's go. Let's start talking about Europe a little bit. Okay. Has anybody been to Europe? I guess besides me. No. It's a cool place. Okay. And so today what I want to kind of do is take you on a little tour of Europe, some pretty cool spots there. So somebody said I have when I was younger. That's cool. Do you know what areas you went in Europe? What places you went to in particular? Because I mean it's been populated for a long time, so you have very old buildings, some really kind of cool. So United Kingdom, France, and Spain. Okay. Very good. So I've only been to the United Kingdom, but I do want to visit all over Europe. That's one of my goals to do. Okay, so we're going to be talking about, as I said, we're going to kind of take a tour through Europe a little bit of those cities that have been around for so long. London, Rome, Berlin. Probably talk about a little bit about ancient Greece, all of those things where democracy and civilization, as we know it, kind of really got amped up and ready to go. So the first thing we want to do is look and say, hey, where is Europe? Okay. Well, Europe, if we look at it from the center place, okay, the center picture here, it is kind of this weird shaped thing right here. They actually call it the land of many peninsulas. Okay, does anybody know what a peninsula is? Just throw that out in the chat. What's a peninsula? we have a great example of a peninsula in the United States. So somebody says, like a little piece of land that comes off a continent. Yeah, okay, it's like Florida. So it is basically a piece of land that is surrounded 3 sides by water, okay? And so if you look at these different areas, okay, so you have like the Iberian Peninsula, which has Spain, Portugal on it, has all those things. Or like an island that's attached. Okay, yeah. So kind of like that. So 3 sides are covered by water. So the United Kingdom's an island, which is interesting. But you have like Denmark and Norway up here. That's a peninsula. You have Italy. That's a peninsula. You have Greece. That's a peninsula. So all these different areas, there are a whole bunch of peninsulas on there. Okay. So I want you to look at this map real quick. Hopefully you can see it somewhat okay. Right here we have this map, and according to the map, let me get down the tools and switch those over so we have A, B, C, and D for you. It says, according to the map, what region is the United Kingdom in? Okay, so look at that map closely and then pick your answer. Okay, would it be A, Western Europe, B, Northern Europe, C, Eastern Europe, or D, Southern Europe? You're going to have to know where the United Kingdom is. Alright, give you like 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All you guys got it right. Okay, B. So hopefully you can read some maps a little bit here, where it's kind of color coordinating. So we have Northern Europe, which is there. So the United Kingdom is this island that's out here. Okay, the United Kingdom is England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scotland are those areas that consist of the United Kingdom. Okay, so let's go through that little traveling aspect where I'm talking about. So hopefully I'm going to give you, when we're looking at these pictures, looking at this area, you see the different topography. So topography basically means what it looks like when you're there, okay? It gives you the travel bug, is what I like to call it, where you want to get out, you want to see these cool places, okay? Alright, and maybe you guys you've seen these before, but maybe you can tell me. So this picture to the far left, where my little pointer finger is, yes, there are pretty pictures, that's why. Where would this be located at? Can anybody tell me? So you have the rock wall right here, and the rock wall, they use rock walls because they don't have a lot of trees over there, so they can't use wood, and it's very moist and green, as you can see with the green hills. Okay, so Darby said the United Kingdom. That's correct. Okay, so you're talking like Ireland, Scotland, in northern England. That's where you would see these kind of areas. Okay, the picture in the middle at the top, where would you think that one would be at? So you can see it's by the ocean. Some islands. That'd be cool to kind of live in a house and wake up in the morning and you're just like basically on the ocean. But there's all these kind of mountains around it, so you're like not in the middle of the ocean, so you wouldn't get seasick. Okay, that's going to be your more up in Sweden or Denmark, that kind of area. The bottom picture that you see here, look at that one. That one kind of looks like Florida, right? A little bit. Nice areas. That's going to be more in like southern Spain, Italy, those Mediterranean places, which are absolutely beautiful there. And then over here, can anybody tell me where this would be located at? You have the ancient, or not ancient, but more Victorian style houses, pretty old. Anything like that? Any thoughts? It's going to be some old cities. Okay, somebody's thinking here. France would be good. Yeah, okay, so you got like, this one's actually in Paris, I believe, is where this picture is taken in. So, But Paris, France, yep. So you were right on there. That's what you were thinking too? Cool. All right, yeah, so let's look at Paris, okay? So Paris has, of course, this picture over here, that wonderful tower that everybody wants to go, and it's supposed to be a romantic city you kind of go to. The Eiffel Tower, right? You also have this place right here, I believe it's called the Louvre. It's has a museum underneath it, but it has that architecture of the pyramid that's kind of coming out. Lavore, yeah, that's right. Sorry, I need to travel there, so I know that a little bit more. So if you can get Utah Virtual to pay for my trip, I'd love that. Okay, and then you also have these other places over here. You're just driving around the streets. There's just amazing monuments that you can go there. Oh, look at this. We have somebody that knows all about Europe here. It's a one-way street. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and they have a lot of roundabouts over there, right? Which it's really nice to keep a good flow of traffic and roll through there. Okay, next one that I want to bring you to is Rome. And then, so anybody know what this building is right here to your left, okay, where my arrow is? It's where they used to throw people in and watch lions eat them. Is that good? So they had the gladiator fights, right? The Colosseum, okay? So you have that. As you can see, it's somewhat broken down a little bit. And then we also have over here, this is a picture overlooking Vatican City. So Vatican City is actually its own country with inside a country, okay? But does anybody know what Vatican City is? What it basically, what's its importance? What's the importance of Vatican City? It has like one of the biggest religions or sects of Christianity that's in there. Does anybody know what that is? Is that where the Pope is? Yeah, that is. Okay, so that's where the Roman Catholic Church is the main capital there. Okay, they have their own. It's actually their own little country. And it's like only a mile by a mile wide, but it's really cool. That's where you would see like the Sistine Chapel, all of those really cool old buildings. If you're looking at early day Christianity. Okay, you also have London. Okay, London. You can kind of see over here to the right. You see a bridge. London Bridge is falling down. Have you ever heard that nursery rhyme growing up? Okay, yeah. It's actually, if you think of the lyrics, London Bridge is falling down, it talks about Bloody Mary taking her sister and locking her up, and it's actually not a very good song. But we sing it to our little kids because it's kind of catchy, right? And then you also have Big Ben that's over here in this other picture, as well as their the skyline of London, which is very pristine and pretty cool. Okay, the other one right here. Can anybody tell me what the picture right here to the right is? Okay, of Berlin. Hopefully you've learned this a little bit maybe in world history. Okay, cool, the Berlin Wall, okay? So the Berlin Wall was erected. Put that in 1987, okay. Somebody's been doing their history or likes history. So it basically split, right, Europe right down the center. So it wasn't just Berlin that was separated, east and west Berlin. It was actually everything east of that wall, even the countries as you go down south, were all communist and ran by the USSR. And then all of the ones west were ran by the U.S. and its allies, and they were capitalism. And you saw what happened that West Berlin became very prosperous and that kind of stuff, and the people in East Berlin were very poor and didn't have any food and that kind of stuff. And so that wall was torn down in the 80s, and now we have a big metropolitan city, and it's that. But some of those Eastern European countries, they're still recovering from those decades and decades of being under the USSR control. Okay, so that brings us to, I kind of hinted at this a little bit. What year was the Berlin Wall tore down? Okay, so it did come down. That wall's not there. I know quite a few people that have like little pieces of the wall now. So let's put in the chat there. What year was the Berlin Wall torn down? And I did make a little hint to it before. So hopefully you guys were listening a little bit on the other end of this. Okay, let's give you like 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You guys like basically all did it, okay? 1989, as I talked about, okay? So it wasn't that long ago. You think about that. I was actually born before that. Do your math and you'll know how old I am, or at least somewhat how old I am. But I was born like 3 years before 1989, so really not that long ago. Okay, the other city that I wanted to take you to, because it was so important to modern day civilization right now, okay, is ancient Greece. Okay, ancient Greece was known for a lot of things. One of the things is they have really a cool what do you call it? I don't know if it's really a religion, but they were what's called polytheistic. We've talked about polytheism before in the class. We were talking about ancient American civilizations, but they believed in like many gods. Okay, that's what polytheistic means. So, can anybody tell me some ancient Greek gods that you can think of? Greek mythology, I think, is what a lot of people call it now. What are some ones? And there's some really cool stories out there about these characters, okay, or the Greek gods as they call them. I see some of you typing there, so I'll give you a second to put it down. It's all right if you don't spell it correctly. I'm not the greatest speller. Okay. Oh wow, we got a lot here. Zeus, Poseidon, Hades. Yeah, like all of those guys, okay? There's some really, really cool backstories to them. That's where Hercules comes into play. Yeah, you must even know like a lot about the Greek mythology. But it's really kind of cool to kind of hear those stories and that kind of stuff. Another thing is this is where modern day kind of democracy happened, okay? So they had a republic, which basically where the people would pick a representative, and they would go, and that's how they'd create laws, okay? So more of the common person was able to do it. Instead of having like a king and a queen, and they rule it, and you have your knights, and then you have your peasants. So, alright, so they learned it from Percy Jackson. Yeah, I think I gotta read those. Maybe that's a book I'll have to read this summer. Percy Jackson. I saw the one video on it. It was pretty cool. But going back to the Greek mythology real quick, so they built temples, right, to their different gods, as you can kind of see right here. And so these old things is where they would have worship these gods. I think Zeus being the leader of it. And that's something I'd like to dig in more to, you know, do a little bit of research. Maybe if you haven't done your paper yet, or you're looking to your paper tonight, maybe that's what you do it on, right? Look at the different Greek mythology kind of there. Another thing as well is with the gods, right? They wanted to kind of worship them, or that is they would actually hold some games, right? And that's where your first Olympics kind of came into play. So that's something that takes along. So you got the Olympics, you have the polytheistic thing, and you have the democracy that all kind of stem from ancient Greece and that civilization there. So let's do another poll question real quick. What is true about ancient Greece? Were they polytheistic? The Olympics were started in ancient Greece? The first republican form of government started in ancient Greece? Or D, all the above are true? Thank you guys for answering those questions. Appreciate it. And hopefully you're kind of writing these down or remember them as we go, because the exit ticket may be fairly similar to all these. Alright, and you guys are right, okay? All are true, okay? So they had that polytheism where we spoke about, Zeus, Poseidon, Hades. The Olympics started there. We still keep that tradition alive. We have the Winter and Summer Olympics, which is kind of fun. And then also first Republican form of government. Okay, hopefully that gives you the travel bug a little bit, and you wanted to kind of go to some of these different places. And that really ends us to the very end. Okay, so if you weren't here at the very beginning, remember you have your geography paper that's due, right? It can be on any topic in geography, which, remember, geography is the study of the earth and everything in it. So it basically can be on anything that interests you. Just do some research, write a page paper about it, and then turn it in, okay? I'll check on that quiz 11, make sure we're all up to date there, get that going, and stick around if you have any questions, concerns, comments. Love to help you out any way I can, okay? All right, so I'm going to stop recording, and I'll stick around for a little bit.
Recording.